Oh yeah, and I can totally see how somebody could easily try to say that I was a man once. Not in this lifetime, unless I was both when I was born and they like, you know, made me a woman or whatever. But no, when I was, and I think it was just mostly because I was doubled on so much that like when I went through puberty, I was like, you know, really mad at the creator for like making me a woman. So yeah, this may be like my first lifetime as a woman, and perhaps I was male in previous lifetimes. I'm a tomboy, if you were to call it that, and always have been. Yeah, so no, I can see how somebody would easily be able to start that rumor, but no, I'm female. I was born female. You know, any of my anatomy issues, which it wasn't made public, it has to do with growing a different way because of what was done to me when I was young. And thank goodness these are over a minute, these ones. But guys like it. It's like, what's that video or that movie with Jennifer Aniston when they go hippie colony from New York? And she's like talking about how it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I had this one dude that's got like it's got that really bad name that causes you to have issues, and you know, like the history of it consisted of you know, kings that had like hundreds of women and that was cool, sort of a thing. This shit makes me laugh because I'd be the headmaster, number one, whatever, Bathsheba. Reminds me of some Instagram hating. Anyways, he had the same name and he was a man whore, and he told me it was more, and so he would know. He said it was more like throwing a hot dog around a hallway corner, around the corner of a hallway. Anyways, no, I'm female. I've always been female. My kind is built like a wound that won't heal. Ani DeFranco lyric. That's what that whole like reading painting was about, you know, but it has to do with, you know, attachments and also just like abuses at a young age that happened in the closet by pastors' kids. I had this video that like actually like erased. It won't come back. It's and it might be just the fact that it would have like thrown off an investigation sort of a thing, but oh, I did mention something really important in it, and it was basically that like victims of narcissistic family abuse, we tend to sometimes hook up with other narcissists, but a victim of, and we all have it to a degree, and we have it in a screwed up way. Sometimes we have it as an empath, like our Heyoka from that was a victim of it, because our families tried to convince us that we were that way, you know, and we've had to fight for ourselves. So in that sense of just trying to fight for like our basic rights and to be heard, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, when somebody doesn't want you to be seen or heard and they don't want your story to be told, they're like, oh, it's all about you. And you're like, could it be for like just like a second? Can I get some validation for just a second, sort of thing? So anyways, it's all just like a twisted jumble. We're not good at faking it, but they are very good at faking it and playing the victim part. And so anyways, I don't try to check out too many videos on it, but like if someone comes up and it's like, you have to listen to this, like eventually like might. But like, no, if I do, it's like my whole feed is covered in narcissistic family abuse stuff. I think the Matrix is trying to tell me something there. But anyways, what I tried to say in this video, and I can't get it to re-upload, was that a good relationship would be with a victim of narcissistic family abuse with another victim of narcissistic family abuse, because I feel like that would create a successful relationship in the sense that two people would really be able to support each other through that complexity and that complication and, you know, the personality. I don't even want to call them disorders. It's just trauma. You know, trauma is not the same thing as mental illness. It's not the same thing as a personality disorder. As much as the predators and victimizers that run the system want to turn it into that, it isn't. You know, it's, but even like what they consider borderline personality disorder, I had a previous doctor that actually admitted she had it, and that's why she told me that she knew I didn't, along with like 5 other medical professionals, and it turned out I just basically had complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which was manageable concerning the abuse. It became more unmanageable with the injustices that have happened to me and near-death experiences since being hunted and stuff. But anyways, she was that way as a child, but that's because she was in a sort of abusive situation herself. So I feel like it was just like a cry for help. Just like kids that are being sexually abused, they will act out as a cry for help, and because they want to be safe from the situation and they want their parents to discover what's happening to them. You know, I had my GMA told me I was a really sweet, very well-behaved kid. I had a little like monologue in an Irish accent that had to do with the Told Me Knockas, but that's another video. How we're misunderstood. The Told Me Knockas, they're not so bad. I gotta get my accent back down. I had it nailed, but I gotta like get that back down before I put that. 555 confusion. No, really, man, I'm being so messed with these messages. Because somebody doesn't like it. A whole lot of somebodies don't like it. Well, it seems that somebody is in trouble and probably found out and exposed. And so some things might be lifted because they're not going to be able to pay the minions anymore. Some people are going to be facing some charges, but they chose to act legally, unfortunately. And so, yeah, so I got to get going now. But anyways, oh, and also in that video that I couldn't upload was my true confession of the fact that I have never in my life had a drug addiction or been addicted to drugs, in the sense that I couldn't get out of it, that I compromised myself or sold myself sexually. I've never ever done that a single time in my life. If anyone claims it, is the biggest lie ever on earth, ever. I had somebody that worked for the DOD try to offer that, and I kicked him around my house. And that's the truth of it. So people want to twist my words and say something else, and there's something they're covering up. But anyways, yeah, like in the 90s, when you go to art school in the 90s and you have been so controlled growing up that you don't even know how to say no, it takes you up till you're 45 years old to have boundaries and be able to say no for yourself. Yeah, you're going to go a little wild, and, you know, you're going to go like kick it at the Cane's Ballroom and, you know, get roofied a few times, half a dozen times. Who knows what else put in, who knows what else put in the laser lights, if you know what I'm saying. I should find that card to put it as a cover of this video. Anyways. Yeah, so like, basically like a handful of parties in college in the 90s. And then literally like some really, really rough times when I was very targeted by my own family and lost everything, which was really hurtful. And so I just wanted to hurt myself more. And the only people that were there for me were, you know, people that had relapsed. So I had a few bad weeks, couple stints. Besides, I could rack it all up and it would be such a small percentage of my life. It'd be like 0.05% many years ago. Not in connection with my symptoms whatsoever. Symptoms started much before that. And the person accusing me of this, that likes to bear false witness, as he wants to call himself a Christian minister of the gospel, and not, because cruises are what are most important to him, not his own daughter's life. Anyways, that was in the videos that wouldn't upload, and they get interfered with and hacked and this and that. Only making it obvious. They're only digging their hole deeper and deeper and deeper. But anyways, yeah, no, he literally was a junkie for like a good decade, and yeah, let his friends give me deep throat infections and shit like that. But yeah, wants to, you know, bear false witness and just like over so many years, like lead everyone that knows me to believe that I'm like a horrible junkie and a prostitute. You people are disgusting. You're liars. You're going to answer for it. You obviously have something to cover up and something huge to hide, because only a wee bit of my life have I ever been involved in any of that. And it was because you guys treated me like you guys were assholes and you treated me like my life didn't matter, and you threw me away like trash. Like my life didn't matter. You threw my life away. You continue to do it. You refuse to make it right. So yeah, so for a few weeks, I hung out with my relapsing bandies because we lost the only thing that was working for us, that was actually creating healing in our lives and helping us to heal others. And you had to put a stop to it. Because your self-righteousness is as filthy rags, and it's not about the external. It's about the truth of things. Bearing false witness is among the things that God hates and detests. Those are the actual things you'll get judged for. So yeah, anyways, it's all lies. That's my self-confession. I've never actually been addicted to drugs where it was a problem. It was a very small stint a few times in my life, and I was able to escape that scene like nothing because I couldn't stand it. It was gross and disgusting, and I hated it, and I knew I was better. I can at least thank my, father for that. I knew I was better than that. I was raised better than that, But, you don't have, we shouldn't be defined by something that barely even makes a little sliver in our pie chart. That's something that's less than 0.05% of our life. What is wrong with you people? Do you want every single sin of yours held over your head forever? That's not even what you preach in the first place. Come on. Quit being so hypocritical.